G'day and welcome back to this little series about the Revelation cycle, and I've been going through this idea about, and my idea is processing Revelation. That's what I've called it, processing Revelation, because this Revelation thing is a process. It's a journey. It's not just one moment. It's actually a series of moments. And if you look at any occasion in the Bible, is full of Revelation experiences, full of it. But if you look at all those revelation experiences, it's not just a moment of revelation and then you record the moment, not like some amazing event that you record and you kind of replay the event all the time. We tend to be prone to do that a bit, and if we replay the event, we just think, we've done the job just by replaying the event. We celebrate Christmas and Easter, and which I love. I love both of those, but just the celebration of a day means nothing. The living out of the meaning of those things. I'm not going to go into all that now, but it's not just the celebration of an event. We're not a bunch of people who simply celebrate a few historical events. We just don't do that. So Revelation is God speaking to me, telling me something that I need to know, and He does it through stories. So here are the stories. I know what the Bible story is, and I can take a story. I understand the message of the story. Once I got the message of the story, the message that is consistent with the story, and the story that gives the full context of the message, then I can get that message from heaven. And then when I do that, I can obey the message. And we're not good at this. We're much, much better at hearing, discussing, endless views, never doing anything. So what you got to get to the fulfillment space. You got to say, okay, if this is a message from heaven, what have I got to go and do so this message can be fulfilled? And here is the next one then, that I have experienced the fulfillment of this message. I've gone and done something, and sure enough, boom, in some measure, I've experienced some fulfillment of what God has said and so forth. And last time I just began to tell about the story, and so I can tell the story of that fulfillment in a very simple way. So not only do I have a story in the scripture, a message from the story, I'll have a story, my own story about that scripture happening in my life, because then you might think this is finished now, but I know, no, not finished. And so here is the next part of this, and this is I have helped someone else to discover this story and its message. Now, this is a little tricky, because you might think, I just need to tell somebody what I got, how it happened with me, and so they can get the same thing, and whoa. Now, you see, the whole thing about this is that if I just tell you what I got from that, guess what you're going to have? You're going to have revelation that I got. And there's no such thing as second-hand revelation. I know you might think that's a bit radical, but I don't think there's anything exists in this world called second-hand revelation. There's only, it can come through somebody, it can come through all kinds of means, but unless it is God doing something inside of me, then, it's not worth much at all. So the deal is not just to hound somebody or guilt somebody or, persuade somebody or whatever into believing what I believe because of what I believed and all that kind of stuff. My experience is going to be helpful. It'll be an encouragement. It'll put some scripture on the ground so that people can see, oh, that's what happened. That's how it worked out. But that's still my experience. And so what we need to do is we need to help somebody else. So we need to take somebody through this whole thing again. That is to say, read the story, know the message, then figure out what obedience to the message is, then go and do it. And if you can help somebody discover that, then you can help them share the fulfillment of that. See, because we're not just, this is what disciple multiplying is all about. It's actually somebody else getting an experience for themselves. And the best way to do that is for you to help somebody else get this revelation, get this understanding, go and do it, and help them to experience that fulfillment so they tell you their own story of that. So when they get them, help them get the message, help them tell the story, help them get the message, then help them obey the message, help them work through what that means. And then you can encourage them, pray for them while they go and do that. And when they do that, of course, they have their own story. And so guess what happens then? Then they can be encouraged to go tell somebody else. No, you might have to practice a few of those things. What's wrong with practice? Practice makes permanent. That's what a book around the place tells us about, and I'm sure it's true. So, here's this revelation process. It means that I read something that a story God has put in the Bible. I get the message of the story. I obey the message of the story. I experience what God is about, what He's talking about, because I've experienced the fulfillment. I've been in the fulfillment space. Then I encourage somebody else. Then they go do that, and then they encourage somebody else. This is a normal, biblical, God kind of deal. And I'm sorry that we've just messed it up so badly, and we've got experts who know the message and non-experts who listen to the message and all that kind of stuff. So here we are in this mode of having this wonderful opportunity to multiply disciples. And by that I mean, go tell somebody something that you know so that they can discover it for themselves, and then they can tell somebody else they know. That is the process of revelation. God bless you.